We've got some big news coming in today in the fight to get back to normal. Wouldn't that be great amid this pandemic? We're expecting updated guidelines from the federal government about who should be wearing masks and when a federal official tells CBS News that the new CDC guidelines will lay out what activities fully vaccinated people may resume. So that includes when and if it's necessary to continue wearing the mask outdoors. Currently, CDC guidelines say the mask may not be necessary outdoors if you're away from others or if you're only with people from your household. Also today, President Biden will give an update on the state of the pandemic. A briefing from his COVID-19 response team will likely discuss all of these new guidelines.
Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra joins us now. Secretary Becerra, good morning to you. We are at a crucial juncture in combating COVID-19, and we've got these new mask guidelines coming down. Your department oversees the CDC, so I want to put the question to you first, what we can expect, and also, it sounds like it's going to be organized around whether or not a person is vaccinated or not, which I would read as a kind of encouragement to get more people out there to get that vaccination. Fair to say?
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me. And absolutely, the message is clear. You're vaccinated. Guess what? You get to return to a more normal lifestyle. If you're not vaccinated, you're still a danger. You're still in danger as well, so get vaccinated.
A CBS poll finds that while we are making improvements in the numbers of people willing to get vaccinated, there is still a hardened core of about between a quarter and a fifth of the population saying no way. I know you're working on that population, but what's your level of frustration that we've reached a point where we may not be able to make any more inroads?
Well, remember, when you get 130 million Americans fully vaccinated, 2/3 of all seniors today are fully vaccinated. That's all good news. We want to build on that. We want others to join them, because when they join them being vaccinated, they can join them outside and not have to wear masks.
Secretary, I want to go back to the mask thing for just a second, because I've often wondered, I'm outside by myself, nobody's around, why am I wearing a mask? So this would be very helpful to know. If you're vaccinated, do you have to wear a mask outside, or you don't have to wear a mask outside?
Well, we weren't born with masks, but we want to be safe and we want to protect our loved ones. And so that's why we wear masks, right? We put on our seatbelt. We don't expect that we're going to crash our car, but we want to be safe. That's what we're just trying to do, is make sure everyone is safe. We want to get back to a normal lifestyle. We want to get our economy going, people back at work, restaurants open. You got to do that the right way. And masks help. Vaccinations, important. Masks help. And so even though I'm vaccinated, I still wear a mask.
Exactly. So why do we have to do that if we're vaccinated? That's why I'm so confused. Because I keep hearing you don't have to wear it, but still you could still pass it, or you could still pass it along even though you've been vaccinated. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, the vaccine's done a really good job of making sure you'll not only be safe and healthy, but that you won't infect others. But still, you never know. And what you're trying to do is encourage others. We're going to get to a point where masks, we're going to hang up masks on our wall as you know, signs of what used to be. But until then, let's try to get to the point where we're back to normal.
Mr. Secretary, nearly 30% of COVID cases are among Hispanics, and they make up less than 20% of the population. What's being done to get the vaccine to the Hispanic communities?
Oh, great question, because we're trying to reach all those folks who are in hard-to-reach places. And so many of the workers in America who are classified as essential workers, we're Latino. And so we're trying to get to them where they are. Instead of waiting for them to come to the sites where there's vaccinations opportunities, we're trying to go to them. And that's what we're doing throughout the country. We're doing that in rural areas because we know a lot of Americans find it very difficult to get to some of these vaccination sites. We're going to go to where people are. We're going to make enough supply of vaccines available, and we're going to make sure that we get everyone vaccinated.
Mr. Secretary, I'd like to shift topics, if we could, to the border crisis. There are still record numbers of migrant children unaccompanied arriving at the U.S. border. And where HHS comes into the picture is after apprehension, the children are moved to a shelter and then moved to a sponsor family. The shelter and the sponsor family, that's your department. How close are those shelters right now to capacity?
Oh, pretty much at capacity. And because, as you said, they keep coming, we keep having to find more space. What we're trying to do is do this the legal way, the responsible way, the right way. These are kids, and regardless of what their ultimate outcome, whether they return to their home country or not, we have an obligation at HHS to make sure we take care of their health and their well-being while they're temporarily with us.
Mr. Secretary, what do you need most right now to address that crisis? Do you need more shelter space, or do you need more people to help you place these kids with sponsor families?
A little bit of both. And what we're finding is that we are looking for as many of those places with beds that are licensed, that have the caregivers who are accustomed to treating kids. And where we can't, we still know it's better to put them in our care than keep them at the Customs and Border Patrol centers, because they're not equipped to handle kids. And so we're going to do what's right by these kids while they're temporarily with us.
Mr. Secretary, the Biden administration does appear to be a little reluctant to let the media cameras into these facilities. How come?
Well, remember, you're talking about children. These are not adults. They have privacy protections. Whether you are an American citizen or a migrant child seeking asylum, you have privacy protections. You're not open to just the public to identify you. At the same time, remember, COVID still is out there, and we can't have people commingling because we don't want to spread COVID.
So it's strictly a health issue and a privacy issue? Because some people say transparency would help here.
Yeah, we're all for that. And we will continue to open the sites where it's possible, when it's possible, when we can do it reasonably. But first and foremost, safety and well-being of those kids, privacy protections, and making sure we don't spread COVID.
All right, Secretary Becerra, we appreciate you getting up early for us this morning. Thank you very much.